Hi everyone, it's me again. Just now I felt like that character from the movie Avatar. Remember that scene when he's like gobbling up a sandwich before he would get into the machine so he could launch his consciousness to the avatar that he was powering through the machine that he was using to have his consciousness into the avatar. I felt like the guy that was going inside the tube because I was just eating and I couldn't eat fast enough so I could get to recording. I couldn't eat fast enough so I could share everything that was going through my mind as I was eating. And I made 3 pages of notes while I was eating to share this with you. And it's a good segue because that concept that was introduced in that movie is quite brilliant. There are a lot of things about that movie that we're going to discuss later. But remember that scene where he said it was his graduation basically, and he killed a beast, he killed an animal, and before he struck the blow that ended that animal's life, ended the flow of energy of that animal, he made a prayer. And he said, I thank you for you, something like this. Thank you for you are going to become part of the Amatikaya. You're going to become part of me and my tribe. I'm getting goosebumps. So let's think about this for a second. He was thanking and blessing something that was going to give him the energy that he needed to stay alive and keep broadcasting his energy. Same thing with us. This is about food. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not, like I told you in the first video, I'm not a guru, I'm not a sage, I'm not a saint, I'm not anything. I'm just a guy who's talking. And should you listen to me? I don't know. Who do you listen to? Who do I listen to? Would it make it easier for you if I was wearing a suit? Would it be easier for you to hear what I'm saying if I was wearing a doctor's suit? Would it be easier for you to hear what I'm saying if I was wearing a monk's robe? I had a shaved head and I looked like I lived in Tibet. Would it be easier for you to hear what I'm saying to you if I was wearing a military uniform or a police uniform? Would it be easier for you if I was a newscaster or broadcaster, sharing the information in the way you've seen it all your life, sharing the information that was pre-digested for you and shoved down your senses? So you would believe the authority, you would believe what's being told to you without question, like you did in school. Would you question your teacher? I don't agree with you. What? I don't think you're teaching this right. Jimmy. Jimmy would never say that because he would never refute the authority of the information and where it's coming from. Jimmy just nodded, accepted the information, memorized as much as he could so he could score better on his tests. So Jimmy was not encouraged to think. Jimmy was just encouraged to memorize data bits. And the school system is clear that the more data bits you memorize, the better you're going to be doing and the better grades you're going to have. Congratulations, you are the ultimate memorizer of data bits, you get an A. But what if you're a thinker? What if you are someone who does not do well with people telling you what to believe? Then you reject it. You do average in school because you're sifting and sorting, and there is something sketchy about this person giving me information, and he's the holder of all truth and the passer of knowledge, and I should listen to him. You shouldn't. Anyone, not even me. Why are you listening to me? You are only here because you're resonating with this. So your feelings are your guide. Duh. Get it? Because if I'm allowing you to flow energy and understand how the energy is flowed through you, maybe that's something you want at this moment in time. Maybe it's something you don't want at this moment in time because you're not ready for it. And that's okay. That's 100% okay. Because there's no timeline for this. There's no rules for this game. All you have to do is feel things, and you're already playing the game. Like I said, nobody needs to be recruited or enlisted for the church. Not the church, not the Church of Orgasm. You don't need to be recruited for the church because you're already part of it. You know, you were generated by an orgasm. Were you not? Well, I don't know if both parties actually got there when you were being made, but you know, at least someone did. And here you are. From the energy of the orgasm you came. And the energy of the orgasm is what you seek to transfer information at this highest value and all that. So let's go back to food. So there's a movie called What the Bleep Do We Know? It's kind of a documentary style, but it also has like a timeline. I strongly suggest you watch What the Bleep Do We Know? So it shows an experiment, and you might have seen this in countless YouTube videos. You know, you have three plants. You have three plants, and in one plant you give praise and you give compliments, and you can put little three beans, right? The beans in a cotton ball. We do it in preschool. So you get the three beans, and one bean you praise it, you encourage it, you thank it, you acknowledge it, you give it your energy. And the second bean, you don't do anything. Don't even look at it. Yeah, you put some water sometimes. And in the third bean, you curse it. You throw rage and anger at it. You call it names, and you give them that lower vibrating energy. I shouldn't say lower vibrating energy, but a different sort of octane. The octane rating of the energy that you're transmitting through those things. And what happens? Everybody knows what happens. The being that was receiving the highest octane rating of energy flourishes. The being that was not receiving anything does okay, because it was just using the energy that's available to it through the matrix, through the simulation, through the universe. And the last one doesn't do so well, because the octane rating you were feeding it with your intentions was not the highest quality. So you see, what do we eat? What do we eat? I was vegetarian for a decade. I would strictly only eat vegetables and plants and all. And I was, strict vegetarian. But why? I was trying something different, and I realized how much that approach worked for me in the way my body works and the way my energy flows. Being a vegetarian was a great thing for me. I started vegetarianism when I was, in my path, my martial arts path, and I started becoming a vegetarian, eating only vegetables when I started, ascending the levels and getting more knowledge and more physical training. And I thought that I was going to be left with no energy, and I needed energy from protein, and I needed steak. And it turns out I didn't. And I was confused. I never felt a lack of energy. I never felt like I was missing out on something. I was like, this is weird. And why is that? Well, every time I was going to put something in my body, I would consciously thank it for becoming a part of my body. Thank you, asparagus. For you now, of course I wouldn't do that for every asparagus I would eat, right? Thank you for your energy. You are now going to become a part of me, and you are going to feel me so I can flow energy back into the grid which created you, asparagus or broccoli. You see? So my intention was actively changing the octane rating of that food that I was about to eat. That's why in the old days, what did we do? You sit down on the table to eat. You say a prayer. Bless this food. That's all it takes. Because when you're blessing the food, you're moving energy through it. Your energy, the energy of the universe, and that's increasing the octane content of that food that's going to give you energy. But then things get a little weird when you are eating beings that once flowed energy themselves. And no, I'm not advocating for vegetarianism. That's not what I'm doing. I eat meat today. But what I'm advocating is you need to choose. You need to choose what you put in your body. You need to choose what's going to fuel you so you can keep transmitting at the highest potential level that you can. And it might just be that energy of that substance you're eating may not have the highest octane content in its energy because of the way it was industrialized. So when you're eating something and you imagine that that's going to increase your energy, increase your vitality, increase your life force, then it will be so. It could. I don't know if it works for chocolate cakes, but that's a good thought experiment. I'm sure it would, but to a certain degree, because that content of the chocolate cake has a resonant frequency in it. Even though you can change, has a dedicated power. Even though you can change its octane rating, you can only change it so much. You can make a chocolate cake give you the same substance as a full course meal. But you can definitely change it with your thoughts, with your intentions. So you see, everything is energy in motion. We flow energy through this experience, through the simulation that we are playing, and energy is flowed through us, and we require energy to keep the conduit operational. I know it's kind of weird to say it like that, but Have you ever lost someone? Some of you have, some of you haven't. For those of you who have you seen the conduit after it has stopped transmitting? If you take away all the emotional pain, which is also flowing the energy, and you look at the objectiveness, that person you loved that's laying there is not there anymore. Because that is not the person that was flowing the energy. That is just its vehicle. It's just it was its temporary habitat, habitat, or, you know. So the energy of the ones you love are flowing through them while they're in physical form, but the energy of the ones you love gets transmuted and shared directly back to the simulation after they leave their conduit, their modem, and they're there. The energy hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there. And they can choose to, you know, find a portal, find an orgasm, and come back. Did I say that? But they won't remember anything. They won't remember the energy they flowed. They can't, they couldn't, they shouldn't. Because if you remembered everything, you would remember all the energy that has ever flown through all the expressions and all the DNA and all the previous lives. It's just too much energy. Just too much. You see? That's why we're not allowed to go there. That's why when we're born, we don't. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you, Mom. My name is Bob. I'm back. But thanks for carrying me this far and, you know, making sure I was born. And I actually, you know, I gotta go. But wait, can you take care of me until I can walk, please? It wouldn't work. It has to be a clean slate. New energy, which is actually not new energy. It's the same energy that is just resurfaced. So when you leave your body, you resurface, you reemerge, like Abraham Hicks says, you reemerge into non-physical. Because you were here to power it as an emissary, as a distinct honor. You chose to come here to move energy through your emotions. Hope this made sense. Thank you for watching.